Good evening. It's not Friday, but nonetheless, regardless of that, it turns out that we've decided that we're going to do a live episode, and it's definitely not because Carlos doesn't want to edit. If that's what you're thinking, it is partially because of that, but also because we happen upon an opportunity once again. The content gods have been kind. The content gods always giveth, and in the spirit of the season, no less, because of what they gave us, I was required by said content gods to go live so that we could basically have our episode. But then, in addition to that, today, Eric learns the spirit of Christmas, whether he wants to or not. Whether he wants to or not.
Oh.
And for the more astute of you, you may notice it's the setup. It's similar to what we've done. We may or may not be back on StreamYard for now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Zach, your first comment says that Eric needs to learn to have Christmas spirit as well as he pays for the like button. Facts, Zach, facts. But nonetheless,
and I don't like Christmas.
Well, it happens. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jets jetting because that's what they do. Carlos actually won something in a Fanatics auction. Shocking. We'll talk about that. And then Eric will learn the spirit of Christmas. That and more on this episode of the BIC podcast. Exciting times. We have to get in the theme song in there. That was important. But let me do this right off the top before we get into it. AMG Collectibles, amgcollectibles.ca and the AMG Collectibles YouTube channel. We appreciate them as always. And because it is the festive season, I am here to inform you that we will be having an episode tomorrow. And the episode, since we're recording this on a Monday live, the episode will be tomorrow. And it will be the live episode, which we will do after working hours, so about 5:15 Eastern Standard Time. And there will be a podcast episode, but that podcast episode will be recorded tomorrow, but it will appear the following week. So during the holiday week, you will still get an episode. We will actually record it ahead of time, and then we'll be out of time. And then tomorrow's episode will actually be a live one. So if you do want to participate, there are giveaways on a lot of the lives. So come by if you can and hang out a little bit on your drive time back to work. Remember the old drive time radio on the back? Everybody, half the people are working from home now. But if you did have a drive time, you could.
Not everybody is eligible for those prizes on the AMG Live.
No, I think today's episode more than makes up for any possible AMG giveaways you could possibly get. We'll get to that in a second. But first, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
doing good.
It's going excellent.
Winding right down to heading towards that new year. 2025 is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, listen, things are moving, things are changing, especially right now. Obviously, some folks got to get out for travel. I don't. Family lives a couple of blocks down there, so basically, I just go over there when I'm ready to go over there. But nonetheless, we will have. So for the holiday schedule, the Christmas Eve episode will still go off without a hitch, as is normally the case, as is tradition. I think what I'm going to end up doing is it'll be Christmas Eve episode is always a truncated episode. It'll start a little bit later and finish up before midnight. Carlos Sr. will more than likely make his cameo appearance, his annual cameo appearance, so we'll more than likely make that happen. I'll see what cast of characters are available who would like to participate, but regardless, what will likely happen is it'll be a truncated episode on Christmas Eve, and then New Year's Eve will be a fun one, because I always like to do that one. And then I will have an episode on Friday. It'll be shorter than normal, but I'll still have an episode on Friday, and I may just invite a couple of people. We'll see basically how everybody's holiday schedules works out, but that'll be a good way to kind of split it up for the week. So if you want to avoid your family, you're welcome to. There will be probably 1 or 2 lives. And then the Christmas Eve one is a fun one. It'll be midweek, which is a little weird, but it is the way it worked out in the calendar this year. So a little heads up on that. Good evening, Orlando. So real quick, before we get into a couple of the rest of the things, it is No Mayo Monday, alas. No Mayo Monday this week. The Packers did win, so they're at 10 wins, which is good. So they've almost clinched the playoff spot. Not quite clinched, but they're close. We will also talk about who won the Silly Card of the Week, and we do have some new candidates for this week's Silly Card of the Week, so we still got that going for us. And then, like I said, I actually won a card on a Fanatics auction, heaven forbid, and I'll talk about that. So we'll actually showcase a couple of cards tonight, which will be exciting. But one thing I want to talk about before that, it is only the Jets could have Aaron Rodgers celebrating. And I just enjoy it. Like I said, my schadenfreude is I like to watch the Jets just to see what they do. To hang in there, to barely scrape by the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, 2 3-win teams going into it, and getting to narrow victory to get to their 4th win, to actually make their draft position worse, while at the same time beating a meaningless team. Go Jets.
Jets doing Jets things.
Yep. I was very excited. It was quite enjoyable. I will say though, I did also enjoy. I watched the Bills game. That was a really good game, but apparently defense is illegal.
Yes.
Take the
I
over.
screwed up.
Take the way over.
Yeah.
I had a bye week in fantasy this week, but I have been using the Lions defense. And then I looked
No
at
bueno.
matchups. Well, I looked at the matchups coming up, and I was like, the Bills got a couple favorable matchups. I was like, let me throw them in, because this week I had to buy anyway. And I went and looked and I kept the Lions still, but I looked at both of them and I was like, damn, neither one of them did anything. Like, I think the Lions ended up with -4 in fantasy points. And I was like, holy smoke. So,
then are you aware that one of the major stories regarding the Lions this year is that just about every single person on the defensive side of the ball is hurt and out for the season, and some even need surgery, and they are getting guys from the practice squad to play.
Have you been aware that that's been the actual motto of my entire fantasy team this entire season?
Practice squads.
Injuries.
Everything on his team
the
dies.
Cowboys, and you see where they are.
Everything on his team dies.
Yeah.
They all die.
Okay.
His team is basically Drago. It all dies. All of it.
But I did have a successful season. So I have managed well. I am better than the Jets. My record is even better than the Jets. So
low bar, but sure. Yeah, okay. Low bar, but fair enough. I'll give you that.
I would find any other defense in the league than Detroit right now.
I think they've actually done pretty good. I'll check.
The last couple of weeks they've not done pretty good. They've given up a lot of yards and a lot of points. They've given a lot of yards and a lot of points.
I didn't mean this week.
48.
They've had a couple of different games where they've given up a lot in terms of yards and points. But anyway, 48. All right. So while you're figuring that out, let's take care of the silly card of the week. So first, before I go, I will quickly recap last week's episode. So thank you all who voted. Appreciate you as always. And there will be a community post this week, which we'll talk about the silly card of the week. And then we've got some new ones for you. So we had our three options. One was you call that a knife. We got the sword and Jose Lynn. So that was exciting. You had a Jim Brown at the car dealership. And then you had the Kool-Aid Man. Eric should have included the oh yeah. Unfortunately, oh yeah was oh no. Because the Kool-Aid Man was third.
Oh.
Jim Brown at the car dealership was second. And the first was you call that a knife with Jose Lind with his katana blade.
I think that's fair.
The people like a knife. A good old knife.
I think that's fair.
And that was for anyone listening or watching right now, these guys can attest that was like, oh crap, I forgot to get my card, and I came up with that really quickly. So I appreciate and glad you guys enjoyed.
There you go. So that was the silly card of the week, and we thank AMG for sponsoring this week's silly card of the week once again, because we're going to go through three of them. And I have sequenced them in an order, so we'll quickly go through them, and then, like I said, we'll talk about a little mini auction recap, because I did have a little success with that. All right, first one here, Brandon. This one's, I believe this one was Eric's. I believe this one was Eric's here.
That is mine.
Eric's been with the Griffey theme lately.
Yeah, I was going through a Griffey box at work and sorting it, and I just happened to find the one from the a couple of weeks ago, and then I found this one. I think this is a 1994 Upper Deck Collector's Choice. There's no information on the back of the card of who this woman is. No idea who she is, why she's there, why Griffey looks so happy to be around her. She doesn't even know where the camera is. She's not even looking at the camera. There's no doubt in my mind he had to help her get up after she's on one knee. She's holding on for dear life to not tip over. She's holding his wrist so she doesn't tip over to her right. You can tell she's leaning, and she's just holding on to him, going, please don't let me fall.
You think with a man with a replaced hip would be a little bit more understanding. Like, good Lord, he's obsessing over this part. We got that part. How about the Upper Deck logos?
The Upper Deck logos on her really cool hat and green polo shirt. Wearing the necklace on the outside of the shirt. With the heart, very nice. I have
a feeling she won a contest.
Yeah.
Right now, just looking at the image, it's probably that she won some kind of contest. Meet Griffey and take a picture
And
with him.
I love, and I mean love, the fact that she's wearing, the white hat, the green shirt, the blue pants, and the red socks.
Do you see what Griffey's wearing? The teal hat, the navy shirt, the gray pants. I mean, come on. It was the theme. It was the theme.
So, I saw this and I was just like, what in holy hell is behind this card? And there's no information on it. I don't believe she is the home run champ, though. I know it's advertised as the home run champ. I don't think they're referring to her.
Says you, man. Sounds to me like Eric is ye of little faith. But anyway, let's move on here. All right, second one. We got a little thematic here to go along with our Santa Claus and Christmas theme here.
And we think we
Nick
might know him.
Frost. Yes, we got Nick Frost here, Santa Claus. So this one's yours, Brandon. So we got this one as our second image.
Yeah, that is, I believe it was 2016. Let me pull it real quick. Yeah, 2016 Topps Doctor Who Timeless Autographs of Nick Frost. Now, I was just getting into the Christmas spirit. I wanted to find a silly card of the week, and obviously, there's not a whole ton silly about this card, but I thought that it fit the show well. If you can place the face, shout out and ode to Mr. Burrell. I thought this guy looked eerily similar to Bobby Burrell, especially when he's in the Garage of Knowledge. Looks like a face that Bobby would give someone if they were questioning him or got on and pissed him off or something. So, Bobby, if you're listening or you catch this on replay, this one was a testament to you.
Yes, this is what happens when you talk to him about Richard Scott, and he just gives you the stare.
Yeah, I've seen that look many times. That is 100% Bobby. He definitely posed for this. Why he hasn't told us about this, and why we had to find out in this way that he is modeling for Santa Claus and for cards.
He's got a nice hat too, though. You see how that is like you could kind of, that dude could say like, I'm the real Santa Claus. Look at my hat, and that's a sweet hat.
Yeah, my feelings are a little hurt that he didn't want to share this with us, and we had to find out in this way that this is what he's doing in his spare time.
I see. So I actually ran into my card of the week by accident. I was actually looking for something unrelated, running a normal kind of one of my saved searches, and then I saw it, and then I stared at it and go like, that's not a thing. There's no way that's a thing. And then I went and did a little digging. It turns out it's a little bit of thing. So we've got the Ken Griffey with the lady posing as part of probably a contest. We've got a Bobby Burrell doppelganger. Go ahead.
Just for the context on Eric's card, I did pull it up because I knew there was a story. She won the You Crashed the Game contest. So she was a contest winner, and that's why she was in the photo.
Totally. Like even sight unseen, just looking at the fact she had the upper deck polo and the hat and everything, it had to be a contest thing. So
shout out to Granny, though. She was collecting them cards, and she won the You Crashed the Game contest when us teenagers were trying. So
hey, listen, it's legit. You got to do what you got to do. So we got that covered. We got the Santa Claus thing, and I think my selection, Eric, is all that and a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips. Oh,
so this is
my God.
So this right here. So Eric, I want to talk about this for a moment. Let's pause for a second. I need to talk about this because I came across this by accident.
Can be said.
Oh no, there's a lot of things I can say, Eric, because I am only beginning. Stay with me on this. So this right here is 2022-2023 Fleer Ultra. This is an EPAC only set. This was an insert. And by the way, there is a physical card. I bought it on ComC because once I saw this thing and I saw it was actually on ComC, I was like, well, I may as well just get it on ComC. But I got this. And obviously you can see there's Medano with the Stanley Cup. You got these chips in the shape of Stanley Cups. Now, there's two elements we could go. The first question would obviously be why. And I don't have an answer for you. However, Brandon, here's where my head goes on this. So like, fine, it's a Medano card. You know what? I'll accept it for what it is. It didn't cost me a lot. Honestly, it literally cost me $2. So fine, whatever. But here's the thing. Brandon, we've talked in the past about questions, about how Upper Deck gets its ideas. where they get this ideas from. And here's what I'm thinking. And Eric, stay with me on this. Here's where my head goes. You know how we make fun of Billy and poke fun at him for the fact that he will not get internet in his apartment. He will only go through his phone. Is this a sign? Is this a cry for help? Are they hungry? Do they not feed them in the office? And they're sitting there like, man, I could use a bag of chips right now. It's like, that's a great idea for a card. No, it's not. I'm just really hungry. Do it.
You know what came to mind first when I seen it?
I can't say that.
Panini ones. The Panini.
See, Brendan's got it.
Crunch Time or whatever it is that they did. It looks eerily similar to that.
Look, Brandon, I'm all saying is like, I actually think they're really hungry. I think literally this is a cry for help. This is basically the person who came up with this and up and going, I am starving. When can we get lunch?
So now we just need to find out if Billy or someone else in the office is a fan of Ruffles.
I'm saying, like, I the only possible explanation I can think of, and Brandon encapsulated perfectly. The inspiration is hunger. Yes, literal hunger. Eric, they can't pay for internet in their apartments. They obviously don't have bags of chips in the office. These are dire times. These are dire straits.
Daniel's almost off the card. I mean, they placed him way to the left so they
because the focus is the chips. The focus is the hunger, Brandon. They're starving. So that is my
money for this. You purchased this money.
I purchased this
wallet and gave it to another person, and they're going to send this now to you.
It's in ComC, Eric. It's already in the warehouse. It's an e-pack card.
Well, Carlos, last time you used food, you did win the silly card of the week, and this one probably is better than that one.
It is. So, I think so.
God.
I think so. All that in a bag of chips, literally and figuratively. Oh. So that is the silly card of the week. See, Eric, I find it like, Brandon, I got to be honest. Eric's already starting off the show being super judgy. Like, he's like, you gave people money for that. Listen, you gave people money for Boston Bruins cards, and they're a fake hockey team that you just made up in your head.
I can't even argue with that right now because they suck so bad that I can't even defend them, and I won't.
So do not challenge my bag of chips card.
Until they turn this season around, I will not defend them. So you go ahead and make fun of them and trash them all you want because they will suck.
And I will.
They suck.
Indeed. The names have changed, but the hunger remains the same. Hashtag food fractors. Facts. Well said. Well stated. But yes, so that is a fact. So that was not only the silly card of the week, but a card I did purchase. However, I did also purchase a different card on Fanatics Collect. I actually picked up this one. It's been a little while since I've actually been able to find something that I thought was worthwhile. It's not just finding something. It's finding something that I thought was worthwhile and also that the price made sense. Because with that one, it's an auction, but then you're also paying the juice. A little bit extra percentage on there for the juice on that, on top of that. So you always got to reverse engineer the numbers a little bit to make sure you're happy with the result. This one, I think I'm actually pretty happy with where I wound up on this one. And, I'm not officially working on this project fully, but nonetheless, it worked out quite nicely. I was able to pick up a 1953 Topps Johnny Mize. CGC 2.5. It's a nice clean copy of the card there. Good image there. I like the image on the front. It's a good, solid, clean look on that one. And then on the back here, let's see if I can load the res image there. Pretty solid on the back as well. Love the 53 Topps. Good looking card there. And that one there is, I do have a checklist of them. It's just not the main focus right now, but I saw this one on there and I was like, I bet I could get this for a decent price. Got it for a fair price. I'm pretty happy with it. So when I do ship it, I'll be able to get this.
It's such a great set. I know everybody relishes over the 52, but a little known fact, the first Jackie Robinson I bought was the 53, just because the imagery and the way those cards look, they're really nice.
Yeah, beautiful cards, and I'm a big fan, so I was like happy to add that one. I'll take that. That looks good. And in the 2.5 is actually very reasonable price. You can get those pretty reasonably priced. In the CGC, it gets a slight discount on it, so then take the discount. It looks good in the holder. The card looks clean. I like it. So when I do get my stuff shipped over from the vault, that'll be one of the new ones that I just added to the collection. So actually an auction win for once. It's been a little while since I've actually had one because the price has been wrong on a lot of stuff I've been looking for. Good times. All right, so we are actually going to have a little bit of fun with this one because we are going to focus a little bit more card heavy on this one because I had a couple of little topics that we could touch on. There is one that I'll briefly touch on before we get into Eric learning the spirit of Christmas. That'll be kind of our main segment because it's going to take him a little while to get through this stuff. But one more thing I'll say is I'm enjoying that right now the new trend on YouTube, especially with the vintage card side of it. The new trend is top 25 or top 50 cards. People putting together videos with their lists. Brandon, it took all my willpower not to make my own version of that video, and it was just going to be 1991 Fleer cards and Josh Rosen.
Yes.
That is my least favorite all-time set. That yellow is hideous.
Brandon,
there's one
that's
cool
why it's
card in the set.
It's perfection. That is why it's perfection. That is exactly why it needed. That's exactly why I went there, and it needed to be done. I was like, if I was going to do it, that's exactly what I would have done. Again, to each their own. Y'all do whatever you want to do.
I've recorded a couple videos. I've recorded a couple videos, kind of talking somewhat on collecting topics, and I've refrained from uploading them. I did a video that we had discussed with the CGC surpasses PSA clickbait reference, and I never uploaded that. So I have been pressing record. I've just not been pressing upload. So I need to get back around to that. But yeah, I've kind of just been withholding my old man ranting, I guess. I've gotten better at that, maybe.
Rant, baby, rant. Once we hit a certain age, that is our goal in life, is to find something to rant about. It is what we are here for. This is our job now.
The problem is, though, is I've been in such a better mood. I've been
not me
in a much more pleasant mood.
No, not me.
I don't know if I want to get back into that. I mean, there's lots of things I would love to say, and I'm just like,
you should.
Is it worth my time?
Oh, it is. Rant, baby.
I don't know.
Rant. I'm all about a good rant.
This is basically what Eric lives for. That's all he's got going on for him. That's all.
Get off my lawn. This ball is mine now. I mean, I'm all about it.
I have no idea what he was talking about there. Like this ball is mine now.
Like, trying to inspire me to start recording and just going at it again, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess so.
If a kid like puts the ball over the fence, lands in your yard, it's like, no, this ball's mine now. This is mine. You don't get this back. This is my ball, not yours. It's in my yard. Possession's 9/10 of the law. I don't care. Stop crying. Learn a lesson. This is mine now.
The problem is Eric still does that, and by kids it means the local college, so they're all like adults, and he goes, "This is mine now," and it's like, really? I think they can take you, old man. Good evening, Sean. Eric's the guy who took his net home halfway through a game. Halfway. It's adorable. You think he made it to the half. It's good times. But yes. So, good day for that. One other thing, I'll share it probably towards the end. I did actually pick up a couple of Jamie Benns. I hadn't picked up too many recently. I found a couple of nice ones that I thought was fun because it is a fun side PC that I have. But I will say, I was thinking about this the other day, and actually it hadn't occurred to me. I suspected it, but for some reason in my mind, I hadn't connected the two in a little while. And I think my favorite part about the Jamie Benn collection, in addition to the fact that it's gotten pretty robust, even considering the fact that it's not a main focus of mine. I'm enjoying the fact that he's approaching 400 goals. Maybe next year he'll get to 1,000 points, which is good. But I still think even with those two milestones, he could very well be the only, because I was doing a little bit of research. I went to the Google machine and I was trying to see if I could find it. I can't think of a single other player who has ever won the Art Ross who is not in the Hall of Fame out of the players that are eligible. And I was just trying to think, like, technically, unless something wacky happens, because Ben's career really doesn't warrant going to the Hall of Fame, really. But he is an Art Ross Trophy winner. So it's one of those things like, could he be the guy? The one guy on the outside of the glass, he goes, I won an Art Ross once.
Did like, McGillney never won an Art Ross because of the talent that was also in the league?
I don't believe he actually won an Art Ross. Not that I'm aware of. I'll double check, but I don't think he did.
That guy's not in the Hall. It makes no sense, but
yeah, but I just think the fact that he did win a scoring title makes it very interesting Yeah, I got it here. The 76 goal season, he was the scoring leader in goals, but he did not win the Art Ross.
Okay.
So to the moment, if somebody's, feel free to correct me. If you got one, feel free to correct. And again, out of the people who are eligible, because if somebody's playing currently, like Crosby has won an Art Ross, but he's still playing, you know,
Right.
that wouldn't count. You know, Connor McDavid still currently active, still playing. So ignore the current active guys. Yager technically will be in the Hall of Fame, and literally the second he's eligible, like the microsecond he's eligible. So that should not be an issue. So he doesn't count
So you're
right now
saying
because
Jamie Benn could be like the Ryan Zimmerman of hockey?
So what's Zimmerman's claim to fame?
Well, I mean, he's Mr. National, you know.
No, but I'm also talking about somebody. Yeah, but I'm also talking about somebody who literally won a major award. The Art Ross is the scoring title,
Right.
like it's one of the major awards.
Yeah, I don't know if Zim's got any like league awards, but I mean, when you think Nationals, you think Ryan Zimmerman. You know,
Sure.
First player they selected, was on the team the whole time, won the World Series. Like, you know, he'll be in the Ring of Honor, no doubt.
Ben right now is the longest tenured captain in Dallas history.
Yeah, so like similar thing, team wise, you know, great for the team, but may not be recognized overall by his peers in the league in general. Similarities.
Have to see. Sean says, "How are you enjoying the tax-free beer, Carlos? This was not tax-free. Apparently, there's a GST. You know, there's a GST like holiday or whatever. And I'm like, hasn't affected me. I bought this before, but I bought it in bulk, so I got a good price. It's a local brewery, so. But no, that was very much taxed. I assure you, it was taxed.
Bulk as in keg?
No, you can get them in like case. You can get. Listen, a keg is a good idea, but it's short-sighted. A keg, you got to drink it pretty quick. You get the case. Well, listen, a beer truck is, you know, that's hashtag invest right there. You got to be thinking.
Remember when Austin drove down to the ring and had the beer truck and had the hose? That's what we're talking.
Look at this guy bringing in the Attitude Era reference. I like it. So, Sean, I'll let you know when I have some tax-free beer. It hasn't happened yet. I'll let you know. But the beer that I am having is quite good. It works out very nicely for me. So, like I said, for the most part, if any of you want to chat on anything, you're more than welcome to. Actually, let me scan through. I did see a couple of other things. Shady Acres has 2 out now. And I did see here, Amanda, good evening. Good evening to you.
Hi, Amanda.
Yeah, there we go. I wanted to make sure. We're back on StreamYard for now, so I have to kind of get reacquainted and make sure I catch all the comments. All right. So, the main topic of this, and the reason why we wanted to make sure that we covered through our normal stuff. Got the silly card of the week. Done. Talked about a couple brief things. Done. Beautiful. Got it. Now, it is time. So let me set the groundwork first, and then we'll let Eric get into it here. So the reason for the title is because Eric has been gifted. He has received a box.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you who are familiar, we do chat up about the IRP regularly. So we've got that going on. So I think it's interesting. But one of the things that the IRP does, one of its traditions, is the infamous Christmas episode, which I believe the last one is still going on to this day. It might still be going on. There's at least a 50-50 chance it continues. It's a very long episode. You know, it challenges some of our regular live streams. However, the point is that part of it is that Vinny, from Uncle Vinny from the IRP, does enjoy the gifting. And some of these gifts are very elaborately built. And it turns out someone who on this screen, Eric, has received a package from Vinny. And now Brandon and I get to do color commentary and play-by-play as you go through. So, Eric, take it away.
So first, I just want to thank Vinny very much for thinking of me. It means a lot. One of the things the IRP really focuses on, and Dave, I think he still says this at the end of every show, that it's about the relationships that we make in this hobby. And I've been very, blessed over the last 5 years or so, and have had more relationships in the last 5 years built in this hobby than I had in the previous 30. So, it's been a lot of fun, and, for people to go out of their way and to think of me, like Vinny has, means a lot. And I couldn't agree with Dave more. when he closes out the show and talks about the the relationships that are built in this stuff. So I got this package today. Yeah, very surprising. With a note that says, Eric, I hope these 12 plus cards of Christmas hits your PC well. Merry Christmas, Uncle Vinny, C, and B and a half. It's very nice of him to think of me and to do this. So I'm going to just show you. I have not looked at any of these. I have no idea what it is, but I have a stack of cards here that Vinny sent.
They're either really thick or there's way more than 12.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut the elastics with my knife.
One of many knives.
With one of the many of the knives.
Where's the damn katana?
We don't take that out. We leave that sheathed because you only take it out when you prepare for war. So we keep that sheathed.
You might have to go to war with them cards.
Yeah, I might. All right. So I'm going to keep the note on top so I don't see, and I'll pull one out at a time, and we'll take a look and see what he has gifted me. So the first one, very nice. I don't have a lot of this player. It's Vinny's favorite player, one of his main PC, and I really should have more. So this is great. It is what is called a rookie update, and it is of Super Mario. I just got my first Mario Auto up at the Toronto Expo. So there's my very first on-card Mario. It doesn't look good here, but up close it looks really nice. But I got my first Mario Auto. I went up to Toronto looking for that because I want to start collecting him more. So this is fantastic. I think looks like probably when he the picture looks probably like when he made his comeback, I would guess. So that's a great one. That'll go into my very small Mario collection. And when Vinny gives up Mario cards, that means he likes you because that's his main guy. All right, let's see what the second one is here. Oh, one fell out. We'll slip that back in. Oh, we're hitting some Bruins here. We got the Linus Ullmark. There's a lot of tape on these, so I might have to just take them off later and save some time. But here is a Linus Ullmark card.
Yeah, that's one of the recent inserts. That's like 200 feet or whatever they call it. It's basically based on the dimensions of a rink.
Yeah, and it's dual-sided.
Yep, home and away.
So I think that's pretty cool. I hadn't seen these yet. And I think that's, again, one of the things we talk about is, all card companies, not just Upper Deck and hockey, but all card companies not, being more imaginative or coming up with nice designs. I like this one. I think this is pretty cool, especially with the dual pictures on it, so, and it's got the
You've
shine.
already got more pictures than Reggie.
All right, don't get crazy. That's now just being ridiculous. All right, next one.
Wild.
Jack Hakan, rookie
Shaka
card.
Khan?
Shaka Khan. Allure rookie. Another Bruins card.
The parallels on the back. If you look on the back, it'll say what it's labeled.
Okay.
It says Sunrise.
Sunrise. Okay.
Yep, that's the parallel. Yeah, the Allure ones label it on the back. So if you're ever curious about the parallel, you can just look on the back. It'll say there.
And I can't say I know too much about that. So thank you for that information. Maybe I'll do some more due diligence on this product and learn where the Sunrise insert fits in their card sets. But that's a good looking card. I like that. Let's see who's next. Carson Coleman. rookie die cut out of 2019-20 Allure. I didn't even know, I haven't really seen too many, even at the shop. I haven't seen too many die cut cards anymore. There's lots of different, versions of cards, and this is the yellow pink ostrich one, and this is the purple grapefruit one. But I haven't seen too many die cuts. So I like this. This is nice. And it's embossed too, it looks like.
Yep. In the same general area, if it's a lure as well, it should say on the back there. They should have some kind of labeling.
Let's see here. White Rainbow.
That's the one. Yep. So that's the specific parallel it's got there.
Yeah, this is really sharp looking. So,
Name's got it right. That's not the great one. That's a magnificent one.
That is Le Magnificent. Yeah. I got it. I really, I don't know why. I never really collected too much Mario years ago, and I definitely regret it. Oh, we got a little pasta here. Skybox pasta. Metal Universe 2021-22. I don't think that's more my computer, I think. I don't think that's the shiny.
Yeah, I think that's the base card. Which is it's got a good design for that year, but I think it's the base.
Yep. So you got a little pasta action. I don't think I have any pasta cards.
So we already had chips, and now we're going to pasta. We are getting hungry.
Ooh, I like this one too. And this is Linus again. Now, of course, Linus has moved on and is now in Ottawa, and we definitely miss him. He's a huge
name. You are correct.
A huge fan favorite here. But Intimidation Nation, Linus Allmark.
Yep. He looks a little cross-eyed over there. Is that?
Yeah.
Is he a little cross-eyed over there?
No, I've never noticed that before, but I see what you're saying. But
I also like Name's comment.
As much as I hate Name, and I think he's nothing but a troll. I can't. I have to agree with him.
He's spitting facts. Carlos is here to provide the hashtag knowledge.
When you're spitting the facts, I can't argue too much, even though you're nothing but a troll. And that's just the way that goes. But yeah, I listen. I can tell you anything you want to know about vintage hockey. I have my tutor, my Jedi, my Yoda, my Jedi master is Bobby. But when it gets to the new shiny, I have a lot to learn because I don't collect it or investigate it. Now, here's a nice one. I love the name of this. Hold on. I wanted to get this one out because this one's really good looking. So it's another Bruins card. It's a Charlie McAvoy, and it's called Hot Magma. Hot Magma.
Yep, that's another one of the parallels there.
It's out of $4.99. I really like it a lot. It's definitely got the shiny on it, and look at that background. That's nice. Hot Magma. And every time I hear magma, I have to think Austin Powers, of course.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. By the way, also kudos to Upper Deck for understanding. That was the first set where they really started to embrace the idea of label the damn parallels on the back.
Yeah.
Make our lives easier. Just put the labeling on the back so we know what it is.
Oh, this is very nice. And I can get this signed relatively easy. We have a very good relationship with him at the shop. We were just, I couldn't go the other day, but we were just at his house the other day getting things signed.
For legal purposes, you're not being creepy. You're actually going for business.
Yeah. I was unable to attend, but yes, it was for business purposes. We were at his house last week getting some things signed. So I may have to get this one signed. It is out of $8.99, and it is a Synergy Exceptional Futures Jeremy Swayman acetate see-through. Very, very nice. And I've got to think about what color I might want him to sign that with.
I think neon green.
I was gonna say you could kind of match it to the color on the card there a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get like a paint pen, a neon green
Maybe
paint
put a
pen.
star on it.
A what?
A star.
Oh, a star. Oh, okay, sure. That'll make sense. Because he plays for Dallas now. Anyways, I like that a lot. And because I have access to him, very easy access, we'll definitely get that one signed at some point. I just where was the one I sent this along with them the other day, and he just signed this for me the other day. I just went over to the pile of Bruins cards, grabbed one, and said, "Here, have him sign this while he's signing stuff." So he just did that for me the other day. So
we need to start getting an Eric inscription that these players add to your cards.
I have some things that people have said to Eric. They write them on their own, Eric, thanks for this, or
No. Like pay the like button.
Oh no, they don't.
Shut up, Eric. Mayo is magnificent. Things like that.
Completely on his own. Mick Foley sent a video to Carlos asking him to do something about me, and so I'd stop bothering him,
Carlos, hey, it's the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. I know I don't know you, but can I ask you a favor? Can you do something about this guy? Get him away from me. What a pain in the... Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just do something. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow, it just so happened to have that. That was crazy.
Yeah. So, and I had nothing to do with that. And Mick was just being mean. And somehow he got Carlos's information, sent it to him, and is asking for help. I don't understand.
See, Brandon, what happens when I'm back and I got my whole panel here? I got all my stuff.
So, so that does happen at times.
Yeah. G'day, Globo.
I think it would just make the cards a little more personable.
Yep.
I had, if you saw the pictures I put up the other day, they didn't write anything, but I had Dennis Bonby and PJ Stock punching me in the face. That wasn't the most pleasant thing that's ever happened to me, but whatever.
Eric, dislocated retinas, or it didn't happen?
Here is a Brad Marchand, MVP 2018 MVP 19 MVP hockey, with the it looks like he has one of those manufactured autos on there. It looks real though. It looks like someone took some silver paint pen.
Yeah, that's the MVP. They basically have that for their, I guess it's silver script for that one.
Yeah, but that looks really nice. They blacked out, the area and then did silver paint pen kind of a thing. I mean, that looks really good. But yeah, so I got that Brad Marchand. Okay. Doesn't say anything on the back about, what kind and all that, like you said. Says he's from Halifax, Nova Scotia. So he, now I understand why he's such a rat bastard.
Thank you, AMG Collectibles, AMGcollectibles.ca.
And where are they located?
In Halifax.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Here's one of a Hall of Famer right here. Got an Adam Oates, Topps Finest. Very nice. Trying to see if it says anything on the back. Well, it being any type of special, but
I think that's the base card for 94.95, if memory serves me.
Yep, 94.95, Topps Company Finest Moment, but very nice. It still has the what do they call that?
It's a peel. It's a peel
on it. Yeah, still has the protective peel. Looks super sharp. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, awesome. All right, next one. Oh, there we go. Wham, bam. Thank you, Cam. Seabass is in the house. I think Vinny spent more money on painter's tape than these cards.
Well, they are Bruins. That's kind of good.
I
SB
have
Signature Legends.
I have a Cam Neely collection. It's it's pretty good. If I do say so myself. I got this one, sitting here, just handy, sitting next to me. It's one of the better autographs on card that I've seen of his, so that's why that one's out. But I got lots and lots of Cam Neely stuff. We have access to him. Also, we go to when it's appropriate and when he's available, we go into the Boston Garden, to his office, and get stuff signed when necessary. And maybe the next time that opportunity arises, maybe I will get that one done. Let me see here. Oh, another Seabass. Very nice one with the Evolve. I remember seeing these out. And I know these come in a autographed version also. And you can see he's got the Canucks jersey and then both Bruins jerseys that he wore. Both versions of the Bruins jerseys. So that's very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the whole checklist got the autograph treatment, but they definitely have a gold version as well out of 99, those are reasonable now. You can get them pretty inexpensively, but some of them do come autographed as well. So that's part of it as well.
But if I could, get him to autograph right down in this area.
Yeah, it's light enough. You could do it anyway on your own.
Get that centered right in there. Oh, that's going to look sick. So the next time we're able to do something with Cam, I will definitely make sure this is on the list to get done.
Now, Zach, you know what the funniest part is about this? Eric's still going faster than the IRP one will be.
Yeah.
He's actually still, I'm not joking. I've watched Bob Lewis. Bob Lewis might still be opening that package to this very day.
All right. So here's Patrice Bergeron.
And much love to Bob Lewis, but it's true.
This is out of $9.99. That's got a little bit of the shiny to it.
Yeah, that was going to be one of the inserts there.
Yeah. So Stanley Cup Journey. Very nice. I don't have a lot of Patrice stuff. I just started getting a couple of his rookie cards, an autograph, and a jersey card recently. So I'm trying to catch up because I don't collect modern players very much. So, but obviously he's a special case. So I decided I should probably have an autograph and jersey card or something like that. So here's a duo, Brad Marchand and Cam Neely. So if I can get Cam to sign one side, and if Brad can get if Brad Hartland can get Brad Marchand to sign the other somehow, that would be quite a card, right?
Brandon, you'll appreciate this. For synergistic duels for that particular year, the combo is Modano and Robertson.
I think I have it. I think I picked one up.
I've got a couple of the versions of it. ComC is good for that. You can usually get a couple of the copies pretty inexpensively. They're not bad.
Yeah, I think that's one that I recently got in that shipment. I didn't show all the cards I got because it was like 154 cards, and I would have been well beyond Eric's time here. So,
and this is another duos card.
Synergistic duos.
Yeah, with out of $6.99, and this one's Marchand and Bergeron. That one's very nice. I mean, this is the most modern cards I've ever had. So this is great that he thought of me and did this, because I never would have purchased these myself. It's not something I would. I'd be focused on vintage stuff. So. This is
it would have just been the OGs. It would have been Dick Clapper, Milt Schmidt, and Joe Thornton. Just that's it.
Okay.
The holy trinity of vintage Bruins.
You were doing really good up until the Thornton part.
Listen, somebody's got to lob in a couple of grenades, Brandon. Otherwise, good Lord, we're watching a man slowly open Boston Bruins cars. Come on, a little bit. We can pick up the pace just a little, Eric.
All
Let's
right.
do 1 1/4 speed. 1
I'm
1/4
trying to
speed.
just make sure people can see because he taped them down pretty.
Yeah, he did tape him down pretty good. I know.
Okay. Here is a
Color flow.
Orange slice.
orange yellow Taylor Hall, who now plays
Yep.
for Chicago.
Yeah, those are called the color flow. So you can see there on the front, it says Allure Color Flow. Those ones actually have a full gradient. There's actually multiple versions of that card in different colors that go through the whole spectrum of a rainbow. So that's kind of an orange and yellow, which is part of that color flow. Which they're actually pretty cool looking cards.
22-23 Upper Deck Allure. Very nice looking. And of course, he's a former MVP Hart Trophy winner. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, who now plays in Chicago and apparently can't play anymore because that team is terrible.
They're pretty bad. And here comes another pasta card. So
Yeah, the synergy, eh? I see. Interesting.
So I mean, I've had no pasta cards, and now I have a few. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like this one a lot too. This is a Diagnostics Brad Marchand, and it's got a fingerprint behind him, and then there's another fingerprint back here. I'll do my due diligence and see if that's really his fingerprint.
So you know what the interesting thing is? So remember that Chips card, and I was wondering if they were getting hungry. I'm looking at this card, and I'm like, are you guys watching a bunch of CSI, or did one of you commit a crime? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, there's a giant fingerprint behind him.
Somebody had YouTube on for true crime docs.
But this is, again, this is all great because I would never purchase any of these on my own, and I love them. Here's another Marchand. That's a great one. It's a 21-22 Metal Universe. That's great. All right, see what this one is. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. So not only do I have a very large Ray Bork collection and have access to him to sign every single thing I have.
Zombie Ray Bork.
I also make sure I collect anything that has Ray Bork and the All-Star patch on it. Okay.
So I'm gonna add 2 quick things here. Number 1, there's actually there's a greater than 0% possibility Vinny has paid attention to that detail, and it may have played into getting that card. I'm not gonna say yes or no, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Here's one of the patches right here.
Yeah. By the way, Brandon, I wasn't originally planning on this, but since Eric is doing so well,
there you go.
We're just gonna crack open another one here, as you were.
Anything I see that any cards that I see of players, with that All-Star patch, I usually pick up and I put in a binder especially for it. So this is the Summit Ice version of Ray's card there. So
yeah, which by the way is one of the better parallels. I think the shine that you get with the pattern on that, with the texture on it, is actually really good. I like Pinnacle Summit. They did a good job with those.
So now I'm trying to think what color would look nice on the white jersey when he signs it. Maybe just blue. We'll see.
You can get away with a dark color on that. As long as it's a dark color, it's fine.
Oh, all right. Now we're talking. Here we go. My very best friend in the entire world.
Who he can't remember how many goals he scored.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of friend doesn't remember how many goals
I had for lunch?
731 goals.
I can't remember what I had for lunch, but
731.
And we'll get that one signed easy enough.
You could get him to inscribe it 731 goals, you bastard.
Well, I will literally have him write 731 goals, you bastard.
As you should. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So we will have, especially Carlos, remind me when we see him next that we make sure we add that. Oh, this one's even nicer. Wow. This one, see, violet pixels. Now, Vinny, I love you, baby, but why do we need tape on the bottom? They can't fall out.
Maybe you got confused by your upside down one touches.
Well, that maybe that's true. So, anyways, this is a violet pixel.
which is actually very appropriate thematic with the purple jersey.
Yeah, that looks nice.
It's kind of a good color match there. By the way, the violet pixels is exactly what it looks like. The pattern on it is real pixelated. I like it.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is fantastic.
If someone didn't know any better, they would think that he played for Crown Royale.
Mm-hmm. Listen, at some point, they should have sponsored them. That would have been wise. When they were wearing the purple uniforms, that would have been like, that's money right there.
All right, now here comes another Marcel. Pageantry, SP Authentic. I could probably get him to sign, down here or here. Maybe in purple.
You could, but I think most of those pageantries have an autograph version of it, and they white it out a section to give you a better spot for the autograph.
Yeah.
I don't mind it on those ones, but it's better to have that little whited out spot.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
I think you'd be better off with the violet pixels or even the Parkhurst retro one there. I think you'd be better off. Those ones would probably work better.
Well, considering I have access to him and he'll sign whatever I put in front of him, I'll just have him do all three.
Yeah, you'll sneak behind the bushes of the house. Yeah, got it.
Stop telling people my secrets.
All right, just saying.
All right. Here's a nice, really nice Espo card. Select 1314. Really, really nice. Look at that. Looks like the stick's coming right out at you. It's got.
You're saying he starred in a 3D horror movie? He was attacking people with a hockey stick?
I think that's what it looks like, right?
Yep. Good evening, Paul. Paul, we're actually getting Eric is literally opening an IRP style package. Vinny sent him a box.
Yep. Oh, wow. This is really nice. Now, I don't have access to him, but he does card shows all the time. So this might be nice to get signed too. This is a Johnny Busick out of $6.99 acetate. Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Oh, the cranked up acetate. Those are good. I think that's the new series, actually. I think that's pretty new.
22-23.
Yeah.
I mean, that is nice looking. So if I get an opportunity that I know he's going to be at a show, I may try to get that one done because that is really, really nice.
So I just want to point out to everybody, Eric has said that looks really, really nice many, many times on these ultra modern cards. So he needs to stop the shtick and just collect his guys.
Well, Brandon, the difficulty here, I think the challenge for Eric is that he's like the guy in the cave who's never seen sunlight. All he's ever seen is 6970 O-Pee-Chee and tops. So he's like, wait a minute, there are other designs? What?
I wasn't aware. No one told me.
And bag of chip cards. Holy crap.
No, those I don't need to see anymore. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, wow. Okay. This one's
Two versions?
$3.99.
There you go. He's building your mini rainbow.
That's really, really nice. Is that what I said? Really, really nice. They look really, really nice. Wow. Maybe I get him to sign both of those. See what's
I'm
next.
just saying, I don't see 6970 cards with acetate.
Some bitch. Look at that. I don't know what's next, but can't go wrong with that. Check that out.
So is the third one also numbered?
It is. Yep. We got $2.49, $6.99, and $3.99.
Yeah. So he's filling in chunks of that rainbow.
Look at that. The Chief. All right. Let's see what's next. I don't know.
Joe Thornton. Let's go.
Whoop, son of a bitch. Out of 99. Fantastic. That's awesome. No, all right. Let's see. I don't know what's next. I don't know how.
Another one you're going to have to supply the pin.
Let's see. No, all right, but we got a really nice.
You know that one, Brandon.
We got this really nice Ray Bill. I do not have this one in my collection. I'll tell you that.
That's actually the older one too.
So I will definitely add this.
Is that 13-14, Carlos? I can't, if I remember right.
12-13.
12, 13, yeah. So
Yeah,
I knew
retro
that wasn't the newer set. That's the
Yeah, that'd be one of
they-
the earlier ones.
God, I now hate painter's tape more than anything in the whole wide world. It's like super wrapping your presents so you can't get to them. But that's really nice. I like that. And I don't have that. You know something? I like that so much. I'm not gonna have him sign it. I'm gonna leave that one as is. All right. I don't want to show this one.
Oh, I bet you do.
Jason
No, I don't.
Robertson.
No.
Oh, damn.
I love it,
So you had a real hockey player in the bunch.
but I love it, but I don't want to hear Carlos.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Minor league booby or.
Look at that bad boy. You know, and it's got the my favorite Bruins jersey. It's got the 50-year anniversary patch on the shoulder. You probably can't make it out too well, but that's 1974 uniform with the bear patch on the shoulder for 50 years, and now we're at 100. So that's you know, and it's acetate, so you can you see through my face? Can you see my face?
Unfortunately. So that's based off the classic EX design, and that's one that a lot of the 90s guys are big into, and they use them for hockey briefly there, which was a good move because it's a classic design.
Well, I think it's awesome. All right, let's see what's next. Oh boy, not a $5.99 early picture of Bobby Orr, probably early 70s, late 60s, 69, 70 pretty much. You know, 1970-ish Bobby Orr uniform, and his hair is just starting to grow out.
Yeah, so that's Trilogy. That's one of the kind of the ice ones. It looks like it's probably one of the thicker cards.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is a little thicker.
Yeah, because it's almost like a plastic. It's meant to be like an ice piece, but it's a thicker card. It's actually they did a lot of those, and they did a good job with those things because it's a little bit see through, thicker card, kind of a plastic kind of material they use with it. It's really well done.
2009-10 Trilogy Hockey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Out of $5.99. That is really, really nice. Wow.
Yeah. Which
That's
tells you they were able to make really nice looking cards, and like $5.99 is not too tough. It's available. It was out there.
So we're down to the last one.
All right.
It is in a mag holder, it seems.
Ooh, fancy.
So let's take a look together and find out what this is. Here we go.
Fancy.
Look at that.
Ultimate Collection.
Yep.
Ray Bork jersey card. See the Ray Bork game used jersey card from Upper Deck. And it is 05-06 Ultimate.
Yep. Good year for Ultimate as well.
And I have been purchasing a bunch of Ray's cards lately for when he comes back from Florida. There's
From
a
the
patch
dead.
card. There's another patch card. There's another jersey card. There's another jersey card. And this will go in that pile. And when he gets back from Florida, he goes to Florida he's a golfaholic. So he goes, as soon as it gets cold and he can't golf, he heads to Florida. So he'll be back periodically for different, reasons. He'll come up and then he'll come back up permanently in the spring. And we'll do another signing with him and we'll get all these signed. So again, this is out of 250. If I didn't say that. Very nice. Very, very nice. And I just want to say again, Vinny, thank you so very much for thinking of me. Very kind, very generous. Loved every single card that you sent. Absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to going through them again and sorting them and putting them away and organizing them. And you know, Dave's right. You know, the best part about this hobby is the relationships that you make, and you know, doing things like this for people. And you know, I mean, I've gifted things to Carlos and Brandon. They've gifted things to me. You know, that's what this is all about. And Vinny does it like nobody else. I encourage people to watch the IRP, and especially coming up when, you know, they go through everything that they exchanged with each other, and you'll see again, Vinny will outdo himself, I'm sure. So,
But the best part about it, Eric, and so we are 5% more mature, but it
Yeah.
would be wrong of me if I did not point out the best part about it. The best part about the IRP Christmas special, if you're going to watch an episode of the IRP Christmas special is very special. And the reason for that is not only is Vinny very generous in terms of the gifts he gives, they're elaborate, multi-layered, multi-tiered in some cases, with instructions. Open this first, open this second, open this
Oh,
third.
yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
bunch of that's going on. Look, Eric got the scaled down version, and even then you saw how, you know, how involved it was. If Zach was saying 20 minutes, like, Zach, that took 40 minutes. It took a while for him to get through all those cards. And again, this was the scaled down version. This was the appetizer variant. Still relatively, you know, under control. But my favorite part, Eric, and you've seen this before in the Christmas special, is that when Dave or Steve and those guys receive anything, it's like you're wounding them, giving them anything. They're like, oh, you can't, oh, but why? Oh, you shouldn't, oh. It's very dramatic. It's nice. It looks like you're stabbing them. It's like you're stabbing them over and over again.
I have to tell you, like the friendships and everything. Eric is right on that.
Oh, wait,
I
hold on
still-
real quick. Yes, name. We have enemies also in this hobby. Some people suck and are trolls and should be kicked out of the hobby and never heard of or seen again. I'm not saying you, but some people should. So you are correct. There are enemies in this hobby, and you are mine.
I'm just saying, Eric, the least you could have done to properly, you know, get simulated could have been like when you saw, like, say, the Camille, like, just act like you're having a heart attack or someone's attacking you or you're being electrocuted or something. Fully get the experience.
I am a little bit in shock, to be honest. Some of these are just, they're really nice. This whole Johnny Busick rainbow thing, I don't know how many they all are, or
But now you have something to complete.
well, I've got to do some research on them. I'll tell you that. I want to learn more about them because
I think if Mary, I did do a quick scan. I think from the ones he got you there, I think you're missing 3. The
Okay.
one of one, you can ignore it. Don't worry about that. But there's like an out of 25 and like out of 65. Those are both doable. Like the out of
You can't
25 and out of
ignore the
65
101.
are fine.
If it has a
Yeah, you
leprechaun, though. If it has a leprechaun, you must get the 101.
Well, obviously, that's a different story. But I think for the other one, you can probably get away with being like, I think the out of 65. I think there's an out of 65. I think, and an out of 25. Those are doable. Like that's not.
Yeah.
You might have to do a little digging, but that's possible. That's plausible.
But what I was saying earlier, like, with the whole thing about the friendships and all of that stuff, I don't know, you know, how many people have had this happen. I never expected it to happen, but I still have any letter, gift, anything that's ever been sent, and I can still tell you to this day. And my channel is, I mean, it's not as old as Carlos's, I don't believe, but it's over 5 years old now. And I still can tell you the first person that ever sent me something in the mail. And it was just a simple letter. And at the time, he was a teenager. His name was Connor. And his channel or his screen name was Collecting with Connor. And I'll never forget it. He's grown now. So, you know, shows how long it's been. But I used to go live every night back, you know, early on in the days of the channel, and every night he would be the first person on. And, you know, it was just the coolest thing to see this, you know, at the time he was a kid, just excited to get on and chat with everybody. And I'll never forget it. He was the first person to ever send me a letter. And it's just something cool. It wasn't cards or money, anything like that, but it was something important because it just showed that, you know, taking that time out each evening meant something to somebody. So it's definitely a cool thing to not, just the hobby in general, but even a lot of people may not get the side of the content, but even in the content space, making friendships there and frenemies, if you want to call them that as well. It's cool to do. So
There you go. So with that said, Eric, did your heart grow 3 sizes, Mr. Grinch?
he's about
It's
to
pretty
cut his
generous
finger
there,
off.
Eric.
It didn't get smaller.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't shrink 3 sizes.
Uh-huh.
I greatly appreciate it.
So, listen, Eric, may I remind you, I am not above calling you ungrateful swine. We've been down this road. Tread carefully.
We have been down this road, and I am extremely grateful and appreciative, and I love every single one of these. I may have a little bit more Christmas spirit now than at the beginning of the show. It's very nice that he did this, and obviously this wasn't just something he did. It took him 5 seconds. This is something that he's been making a pile and seeing things and saying, hey, he'd like that. And, that's really cool.
Wow. So Brandon, it looks like the spirit of Christmas has been infused in Eric. Hold on.
Hey, and just in time, Mrs. Wade said Santa came early. Miss Kathy, look, Eric's got his gifts. You can take the rest of the year off.
Done. Done. Send the chocolate sticks back. They're not necessary. It's already been done. Don't even
Miss
worry about
Wade,
it.
you have the rest of the year off.
Put it back. Enjoy it for yourself.
Do not joke about chocolate sticks. I've told you that. Off limits. Take
Just
chocolate
saying.
very seriously.
Just saying. Listen, I took it very seriously. I had to crack open a second beer while I was going on. Like, good Lord. God damn. Jesus.
Well,
It's a school night, Eric.
Well, I'm glad that we took the time, because I think it's respectful to show Vinny how much I appreciate it, and not just bust through it really fast and say, see what he got me, see what he got me, see what he got me.
Wait, bust through it like the Kool-Aid Man?
Yeah. So
Ooh,
I'm glad.
history.
So I'm glad I took the time. I hope people, were somewhat entertained to see to see this stuff along with me for the first time, and also just to kind of hear about what a great guy Vinny is and how thoughtful he is. So
I have to give you some props though.
Some really?
No, not
weird.
When you were looking at the cards and recognizing different aspects of the images, I'm giving you some respect for that.
Thank you. I really do like collecting these things, and I don't, like, here's just an example. Okay. I bought this on the other day, off the eBays. Why? Because I liked Ron Lowe's mask. I liked his goalie setup. I liked his mask. I thought, at this stage in hockey history, masks were starting to become more of a common thing. They were going to kind of cages. They stopped being decorative and, become safer is really what they were becoming, right? And, I saw this and I paid like $2 for it because I like the way it looks. So I don't collect for value. I collect because I like the way something looks, the way it speaks to me, the way it fits into my collection. I have bought cheaper cards. Just recently, I was looking, I had a card in each hand, and one was more expensive and worth more and would hold value longer and all that stuff versus this cheaper one. I liked the way the cheaper one looked. I wasn't thinking value. I wasn't thinking long-term investment. I was like, I'm taking this cheaper one. And the person I was purchasing it from was like, are you sure? This one's got this and this one. And I'm like, but I like this one. I like the photo better. I like this, the way the players looks. I like the uniform better. I'm not looking for the long-term investment on this. And
Hashtag invest.
they, and of course the person thought I was nuts because
And you
they're
were.
well, yeah, but not for this reason. For
No,
many,
just saying in general.
many, yes, in general, yes, I agree, can't argue. So, when I get a card in hand for the first time and I've never seen it before, I do study them. I want to see, what's going on with it, and I'll know within a couple of seconds whether or not I actually like it or not, and I try to notice different things. So,
And do
yeah.
you notice things? Have you noticed things?
I've noticed a few things. I've noticed that I hate you, and it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, Easter, or Halloween. That doesn't change.
Did you notice that I was unmoved by your words?
Just like you were in Easter and Christmas last year and Halloween.
Consistency is a hallmark for me, Eric.
It's
Consistency.
important. I do respect your consistency of not caring.
I want everybody to know I noticed Carlos's Nike jacket there, and I don't know if he's shared this with everyone, but it deserves to be shared.
Oh, it doesn't.
What is that attire that you are so wonderfully wearing, Carlos? Let everyone know.
This is a wonderful University of it's Eric's favorite school in the world. It's the
Nope.
University of Guelph hoodie.
Not
by
a real-
Nike. By Nike, folks.
I think it's pathetic that you went to Dick's Sporting Goods and purchased a Nike jacket and then went to the embroidery place and said, "All right, listen, I want you to type into your little computer there, Guelph." And they're gonna say, "What?"
All right, I'm gonna mute Eric because there's a serious problem with this statement, Brendan. There is no Dick's Sporting Goods in Canada. So what he's saying, he's trying to downplay that I hopped on my Learjet.
Busted.
I hopped on my Learjet, flew down to the peasant land of the United States. Flew down. That's what I say. Like, you're talking about your American dollars like I give a shit. Flew down to the peasant land of the United States. The land of the sad, fake Boston Bruins, the land of the fake, all these sporting teams he claims he has. Well, really, the only thing that exists in Massachusetts is the 86 Red Sox. Not even the other years. Only the 86 Red Sox exist. That's it. That's all there is.
And Bill Buckner.
So I flew down, and according to Eric's story, I flew down and said, "Dick's Sporting Goods, make this for me." And they're like, "Mr. Carlos, anything." Boom, done. So frankly, I think I need a little more respect from the bougie one over there. You got to do better, Eric. You got to do better. I expect more from you.
You guys really don't have Dick's Sporting Goods in Canada, really?
No, we don't. We never had Dick's Sporting
we
Goods.
don't even really need them in America, Eric.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, good Lord, no.
I'm lousy with them. They're in every freaking city around here.
Yeah, no, we literally do not. No, we do not have that stupid shit. No, I'd have to go at least into Buffalo to get that shit. No, thank you. I'll pass. Good day. And Zach's saying here, you could have made a mail day video on your channel. That would have been YouTube Sports Car Hall of Fame eligible. Fact. Ham says, good evening, Kathy. Brendan says, if Carlos is in the first ballot YouTube Hall of Fame inductee, it's all rigged. Super rigged. It's already done. We already passed. The first ballot's over. It's been done.
Good. I hope it would nowhere near it.
Yep, we have Sports Check. Yes, right, we do have that. Eric is surrounded by dicks. Well, that's just factually true.
Ham, 1 minute you're being nice to my mother, and the next you're putting up comments like that. You're just a sick son of a bitch.
He is Florida man. Like, can you really act surprised?
No, he's the worst. He's catching up to name. That's all I'm saying. He's not there yet.
You'll change your tune when he says, "Look, as a peace offering, I have brought you the entire DVD box set of Emmanuel in Space," and all of a sudden you'll change your tune completely.
I will not change my tune, nor will I even investigate what the hell that is, because I know as soon as I type it in, either the government is going to crash through my front door.
Oh yes,
Well,
because you're stalking of Peter Forsberg, and I'm putting that in quotations. You're stalking Peter Forsberg. It is not going to get you on some kind of a list.
You're just mad because
Peter's
I chose
dicks.
you,
And
I was late to dinner because I'd rather have hung out with him than you, and you're still upset about it.
Well, the problem is that according to your story, you were hanging out with Peter Forsberg at Dick's in Canada, and we
No.
already established there is no Dick's in Canada.
That
So what
was
were you doing?
Not true. I was never said I was with Peter Forsberg at Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's, I believe, is exactly what you said.
No, don't make me get the picture out.
Listen, you can get all the pictures you want with the right AI. We can make all kinds of things happen.
That's true.
I
That's true.
can have a selfie with Godzilla, and that wouldn't even be a thing.
That's true.
Yeah, just saying. Like, I don't think you've proven anything. I think your little Photoshop work over there. And remember, one of the rules says don't mess with people that can Photoshop better than you. Don't play this game. Anyway, name says here for the record, Eric, I have never cursed or threatened anyone with knives. Unlike someone who collects Reggie. That is true. The man is making some solid points right there.
I don't like
sound points.
I don't like it when he makes solid points.
Brandon Sayer says
You
Eric only
literally
buys
agreed
the.
with him.
I know. He buys the finest white copper blades. Wow. The people are getting you, man. They're getting you. I don't think they got you quite the way that Vinny looked right into your soul and he said Boston Bruin shit. And Marcel. That's basically what the box was. By the way, Vinny, much love. Much love. Well played. You know. Let's be honest. It's not like Eric has a lot of depth. He's got the depth of a thimble. So, but you nailed it. Let's just say you nailed it, though. You nailed it.
Yeah. I can't even. Did you get it? Did you hack my phone and delete that picture? I can't even find me and Peter Forsberg.
Brandon, it's all coming together. It's all working. All the systems are working.
Did you hack my phone? Where did
Again,
it go?
Now you're a hacker, Carlos.
Where did
Listen,
it go?
man, I got access to a lot of technology over here, man. That's gonna be the undoing of Eric and his Massachusetts. He keeps sitting there thinking like, oh man, we got all the. No, listen, you peasants have
Bam.
nothing.
Not the janitor.
Oh, that dude's totally a janitor.
He's not the janitor. Peter
He's the most
Forsberg.
janitor-looking guy I've ever seen.
Not janitor.
He genuinely looks a bit frightened and confused in the image.
Yeah, and he looks haggard. He looks like he's been on a bender, like a 3-week bender.
I can't speak to that. That's his business.
But just look at his eyes. He's almost as dead as Zombie Ray Bork. Like that dude looks dead on the inside. Zach says, I typed out some great jokes since you mentioned dicks, but backtrack and show restraint. Fair. Again, we're trying to be 5% more mature. Brandon, like I'm trying. Like it's not for lack of effort, man. But I gotta.
I was going for the immaturity, and look who's been bringing it up.
Can I level with y'all? Just between you, me, and in the chat here. By the way, I also hit the like button. I'm charging Eric for it. Remember something very important. I want to make this clear. I had no intention of cracking open a second beer, but the box opening took so damn long. I was like, all right, I'm thirsty. The bag of chips has me thinking like, oh man, you know what? I could really use some beverages.
Going through it, lickety split would be disrespectful to Vinny, who put so much time and effort into this. He deserved his.
I think going through the cards was respectful. I don't know if you necessarily needed to remove the tape from half the cards.
Well, he put a lot of tape on, so a lot of times it came down.
He did have a lot of tape on it.
Over the top of the heads, or on the back when it told me, the serial number or the version. I couldn't read it.
Well, why didn't you CT scan him, man?
I should have. You're right.
Yeah. Jerk.
I heard that's the new thing.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Brendan Ryan here says custodian engineer flex. Facts. Kathy says hi, Michael. There you go. Kathy says hi back.
Well, Mom, don't be nice to him, please. Please don't be nice to him.
Happens, man. I don't know what to tell you. Name here says tis the season. I appreciate name. Much appreciation. Much happy holidays to y'all. Whatever you're celebrating, happy holidays to y'all. So we figured once we saw that Eric had that box, we figured it'd be fun to do a little. This week there wasn't going to be a lot of topics as far as news wise. We're quiet. Like realistically, there isn't a lot. On the Friday, we did touch on the CT scanning thing, the article in the New York Times, but all it did was kind of tell us what we already knew. Like if you've been involved around here, actually, let me throw this out here. Let me pose the question to you and to the chat. Nothing really changed with the CT scanning article. The only things that were really maybe revelations, I guess, to some, were that they're not really going out of their way to really keep records on who's using the service, which they don't really have to be honest. There's nothing requiring them to, number one. And then number two, realistically, No comment from a lot of the industry companies, which again, I'm not surprised. That's pretty much standard MO with a lot of the ways this has worked. But let me ask the question. The argument is that putting it out there in the mainstream is supposed to be this big deal. But I'm sitting here going like, well, I think a lot of people already in the hobby who care the most already know. And the people out there probably don't care. They may see it or they may not see it, but I don't know if it's going to move them one way or the other. And the point that we made on the Friday Live was covering both sides. Is it significant if you're a person who if you're a breaker, if you're a person who sells boxes on the secondary market, if you're a person who in some way is directly connected to the box side of things or unopened wax or anything like that? Super significant. Very, very significant, potentially very impactful. If you're a singles buyer who doesn't care who pulls it as long as you have a chance to buy it on the secondary market and purchase it for whatever is a fair price, then you don't really care who pulls it. CT scan all the shit. You don't really care one way or the other as long as you can still buy the single you want, right? So that's why there is kind of two sides to it. I think the majority of people are kind of in the singles buying category at this point. Yeah, there are people that open boxes, but if you're getting it from the source, you're probably okay. If it's super high end and you're buying from a secondary source, I would be very wary. I probably wouldn't touch it personally. But outside of that, did it change anything? I don't feel like it did. That's just my opinion. I don't feel like it changed a lot. Any thoughts?
If I was into opening wax like I used to be, if I was into high-end wax like I've never been, maybe it would be alarming to me.
It's a very specific subset. I think it's a very specific
Yeah.
case. Like there are people. That's why I made the caveat. If you're in that category, niche as it is, if you're in that category, yes, this is extremely significant. Like this is problematic. Like this is an issue. If you're the manufacturer and you want to have restore confidence in those people, then it is also a big issue. You need to address it. It's important.
I think the manufacturers themselves, and I can't speak on all of them. I'm not going to say Upper Deck and all of them are in this position, but
ooh, Kathy throwing shade.
I think they're running the bounty, the chase gimmick a bit, the lottery, the sweepstakes, whatever you want to call it. I think they're running the gambit on that a little too far.
Sure.
You know, there's several chase lottery cards that were hyped to high hell that we still haven't seen. And I shouldn't say, we as in a general whole, but I think many folks are educated and smart enough to know what the marketing method is. It's, they're doing this stuff because it helps move product, and it helps move product at a higher value, quicker at a higher price. It causes a chaos. And and I'll just throw the most recent, the skeins. If that was pulled on day one, well, then you're just deflating the whole thing, right? There's nothing to hype if the chase is over. So it's quite interesting, and you go back and look at this, the triple auto, that Tops Now triple auto. I don't remember even how many of those they sold. What, 600,000, nearly 500 something?
It was a ton, an absolute ton. Yeah.
Yeah. And yet that was a specific, buy. Like the print run was indicative of how many were purchased, and yet that still hasn't came out. And that's a bit fishy. They had this thing where they said that they had to like pause shipping stuff, and I don't know if they've ever started that back up. Like there was these little quirks with it that just didn't make any sense. They were sending stuff in packs and all these other things, and so that started pushing a little bit of questions. You got the skeins, you have the Bedard, like where's that at? So, and that's just recent ones. And I remember the earliest one I can remember, and I'm sure there's probably some that predates it, but the earliest one I can remember was the 2018 Bowman Chrome Superfractor Otani. And I believe it was Blowout that put the bounty out for that one. And even that one people questioned way back then, because it was like this random guy suddenly one day showed that he had the card and said, "Oh, I forgot I had this box in my closet." And then there were these stories stirred up of, he actually was paid off to hold it back a bit, and all these things. So at the end of the day, we know it's a marketing tactic, and it works. It creates hype, all of this. Tossing in the scanners, that's adding another element of question. Does somebody scan the boxes, find the card, and tuck it, not even open it, but tuck the boxes away to make sure that card doesn't surface, to continue pushing the product? Look at the triple logo, man. They were freaking having what's his face? Was it Drake or whatever his name?
Yeah, it was Drake Golden.
He was going around all these places, busting open all those cases, on this chase of the triple logo, man. And that was, dwindling the product way down to where there wasn't many left available, but yet that one particular card held on till nearly the end. So I don't know. To answer the question for me personally, I don't really give a shit anymore because I'm not opening wax. And if I do, it's going to be very casual. So, I'm not out there chasing the skeins and all that crap. So let folks play, I guess. But I do think overall, if we continue to keep getting these chases and everything else, and it becomes more of an issue, or people find out that breakers or whoever are scanning this, and there is some links to things happening, I could see it being a problem. I think if you're holding wax as an investment, it could become a problem. But on the small scale, on most people in the hobby, I don't think it's affecting.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my point that I was making. I wanted to make sure that I kind of covered both sides of this conversation, because the first thing is like, oh, you're down. No, I'm not downplaying, but I'm stating that the biggest impact is on a relatively small subsection. If you're somebody who buys a lot into breaks, then yeah, that could be an impactful. If you're a breaker yourself, yes, that could be impactful if you're in that portion of the chain. But there is I think a silent majority of folks that are the end user on the back end from the collecting standpoint, where they are buying a lot of the singles because it's just more cost effective. I'm looking for what I'm looking for. Like, I'll give you a good example. I'll read Brendan's comment here, but then I'll give you an example of this kind of concept with my good old wrestling. But I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. CT scans came at exactly the right time to devalue Topps high-end product. Tinfoil Hat says Panini has minions. We do love our some minions. You got our people. But Ken Golden was using it to check vintage iPhones, which happened on the Golden Touch, talking about using the technology. Makes you wonder. So listen, you can be as conspiratorial as you want. That's fine. But so I'll give you a simple example. I opened on the other YouTube channel that I have where I do the wrestling cards. I opened a box of Upper Deck AEW Black Diamond. It is a very expensive box for what it is, for the second tier wrestling product. So, feast or famine, but high danger, like danger, like flashing lights. You're playing a very risky game.
In danger.
Yeah, you very much are. It is a super high risk game. And I think, as far as what has been shown on the record from people that will reveal box breaks, Brandon, I think I can say truly, I may have opened the worst box in the entire print run. Like, I may have gotten the worst luck on my particular box, but so be it. It is what it is. However, it was good. It did well on the channel. People enjoyed watching it. So, I guess in one sense it was fine. But the point is that doesn't motivate me to go buy a second or third box. I open at least one box of all the products. So whatever, in this case. And I have been extremely fortunate on other products. So I'm not going to complain. In the aggregate, I've done well. So one bad box is not going to kill me one way or the other. The point, though, is for the price of that box, I can go and hunt some very specific singles. And I can bid aggressively on some of them and still get some of the stuff that I want and still be able to get it. Well, oh, but you only bought like 3 cards. Yeah, but I got 3 cards that I wanted for the price of that one box.
Yep.
So I could bid very aggressively and get 3 singles that are actually off my checklist, stuff that I'm chasing, as opposed to, well, if I hit right, then great. But otherwise, like it's already so expensive to start off with that you're really risking it. And as part of the holidays, one of the local card shops has already dropped the price. Originally, it was at $400, then it was at $350, and then right now it's $299.99 for the holidays.
Yeah, I mean, I added up everything that I had bought since September I think it was like September 9th or something. I went back through my ComC order, and then I went over to eBay, and I calculated everything that I had bought on ComC and everything that I had bought on eBay from a specific date in September. And I want to say it was somewhere probably around 180-ish, maybe a little over, closer to 200 cards. And that includes the diehard stuff. I got the Home Alone stuff, like the Bat Barrel, Robles, all that stuff. And I added up everything that I had spent, and it was less than 2 boxes of Topps Chrome Update Jumbos.
Yeah.
All of that stuff, several 101s, autographs, stuff already graded, like specific pieces that I personally seen and was like, oh, that's cool, or oh, I want that, or oh, that's part of my rainbow, or whatever, all of these things. And it was less than 2 Chrome Update boxes.
Yeah.
That's just freaking insane.
Yeah, you could, but that's the point, though. And again, this is somebody who likes to open boxes. It's not the question is about whether I like to open them or not. Is that I'm also realistic about the price point. For the AEW stuff, I will try to open a box of all the different products they release because I like getting that experience, and I will record it and I'll put it on the YouTube channel. For that purpose, it'll serve a purpose. That's fine. But I also understand it. But I understand what I'm getting into when I do it. And I also understand it is not the most financially efficient way to deploy my funds to get cards that I want for my collection. It just isn't. Have I gotten lucky and pulled some good cards out of it? Yeah, I absolutely have. 100%. I've gotten very fortunate in some cases. And that's okay. But it's not all the time. Most of the time, it's like, that didn't work out. But you can get some amazing singles. If you're really targeting and pinpoint some pieces, you can get some great stuff. So Zach says here, I like to think. Yeah, you definitely can. Zach here says, I like to think the CT scanning was not news to the manufacturers. Oh, they know. It's been going on for a while. Well, it's just in the best interest few people know as possible. It's all about the stonecutters, the Illuminati. They know. Not to beat a dead horse, I'm sure we've covered this. Yeah, no, that's completely fine. I wanted to make sure I touched on it, just so we didn't ignore it, right? Like, I figured it was just appropriate. I touched on it on the Friday live stream, but I just wanted to reiterate what we talked about in the past. But my opinion is, like I said, I think the majority of the rank and file collectors, if you're a singles buyer and you're just doing it, then your main concern is, did anybody pull it? I don't care what the circumstances are. Are they making it available in the marketplace? Number 2. And number 3, is the price reasonable? Is the price fair? If these 3 conditions are met, then Brandon, CT scan away all the shit. I don't care. Because if I'm interested in the single, I don't care who pulls it. I don't care the circumstances. The only thing I care about is it available to me? And can I buy it at a reasonable price? Because for my collection, that's all I'm interested in here. That doesn't mean it's irrelevant, but it just means as the individual, it's not as impactful to me as it would be to somebody else.
I'll just throw this out there in case someone ever comes across this episode. If you ever decide to CT scan 2014 Bowman Chrome boxes, and you come across the Michael Taylor Superfractor Auto, you might be looking for, Chris Bryant's or somebody else. But if you come across that box, let me know, because I have no idea where in the hell that card is, and I would like to eventually one day own it. So I'll buy the box off of you.
And I would like to say, if any of you ever, decide to CT scan a box or a case, I think you're a criminal, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Oh, I was just buying the box. I wouldn't actually partake in the
I just wanted to throw that
process.
out there.
I just think that's a very awkward conversation, because I know for a fact that Eric was out there scanning 1988 Topps boxes. It was a little weird. Wait. I don't know.
Eric's had more CT scans done than us combined in the entire chat.
Why do you think this jackass?
CT scan, you're a criminal.
Cool.
Brandon, what you don't see is that when he's out there getting CT scanned, there's a method to his madness. He's sitting there, and as he's going through the CT scanner, he's holding the fucking box. There's a method to his madness. He's like, he's Rafael Palmeiro going, oh, he's shaking his finger at people. I'm like, Rafi, is that what you're saying? Anything else? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. He doesn't want to talk about the past.
I'm not. I was. Hey, that was my line.
You're too slow. See, that's what happens when you get brain damage. You're too slow. Brandon says, I shouldn't be long before AI is used to speed up the process for all the products they're making. Imagine cars actually meeting the release dates. Outrageous. Actually, you know what? Real quick. So, Brandon, thank you for bringing that up. That's actually a really good one. And by the way, I want to showcase a card at the end that was just kind of fun with what we talked about the last couple of weeks. But actually, you reminded me of something. So, Victor, rookie card specialist, did a video where he was talking about something that we obviously touched on in the past, but I'm glad he brought it up because it's an appropriate question. He was looking at some of the release dates, and he was talking about like he decided, you know, he was doing like the what's grinds my gears kind of thing, and I enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I'll include a link in the description to it for you. So anyway, he was kind of talking about it, and then he went to the tab where he opened up the hockey thing. And he saw the releases of 2024 in the hockey thing, and he goes, "There's, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but there's 22-23 products, there's 23-24 products, there's 24-25 products, and they're all in the same calendar year," which is true. That's something like obviously we've been dealing with on our end. With the stuff I do with AMG, every single time there's a product that came out this year, I had to explain this one's the 22-23. There's no Bedard in it. Well, this one's the 23-24. Yes, that has a Bedard in it. This is the 24-25, you know, series one. That is not. That is the current date. That one is the current year. And you know, he made a valid point again from his perspective that he goes, "This is ridiculous." And I go, "Yep, it is. It is." It's really gotten out of hand. The fact that we have had 3 different seasons worth of product in the same calendar year is very unacceptable. And again, Victor, to his credit, he did it in his way indirectly, but he touched on it that the pandemic is no longer an excuse. It's been too long. We can't utilize that anymore. Even the fact, and by the way, I believe sincerely that the manufacturing capacity is limited because I don't think, my opinion, I don't necessarily think Upper Deck has first dibs on time at the printers. That is my opinion based on nothing more than conjecture. I'll just make that clear. But that is my opinion. I believe they're lower on the totem pole in terms of getting time with various printers to get their stuff out the door. However, when you're releasing 3 different seasons worth of product in the same calendar year and we're still years behind on some of these products, that's a problem. That is a legitimate problem, and it creates confusion, and it causes a bunch of releases that are not the same, but are the same, but are not the same. And then we get updates and we get multiple years worth of product. It's not a good experience for the collector because then all of a sudden you have to have a thorough explanation and go through a whole bunch of stuff. With Eric, when he was going through those cards, I could explain to them what every single one of those cards, but I'm involved. I'm involved on day-to-day basis. I see these new products. I can explain them. But you shouldn't have to be involved day to day and really know, like, I obviously can keep track of all this stuff, but most people can't. And why should they have to? It shouldn't be that complicated, if we're being honest. Does that make sense?
Having to try to explain it to customers can be difficult. And it really just comes down to just blaming COVID. And they can wrap their heads around that a little bit more. And just, it's like, yeah, it's all been screwed up since COVID and the printing issues, and this had a hard time coming up. Oh, okay, yeah. But we've had to explain it to them many, many times of
I think
why it's all messed up.
I think the biggest issue though with being behind, and this is something that like I've noticed as far as when we were opening product, they want to charge the product price at an inflated amount. But when they're so far behind, the return isn't as great because you already know what some of these rookies who might have been one of the chase guys or you know, somebody, you know, people might have been prospecting on or whatever. But now you've seen them play for a year and a half, 2 years, and they're not as exciting anymore. So now
Or
you're
vice versa.
paying this
Or vice versa. Your boy J-Rob was on the other side of that coin.
Yeah, that screwed me on cards that I wanted. But I mean, even guys like Bedard, I mean, look at the flagship came out at a decent time, but now if he continues to downtrend, they're going to want, you know, a mint for the cup, but are people going to want to pay that when if he's down on a you know, not as expected tier? And that it's just hurt the products. Like, it's hard to buy them knowing that you're paying based on prospecting, but you already know what the players are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just
I think that changes. I think it the whole thing with prospecting is the unknown is your friend. And as soon as you get more data in, it changes, it drops the hype cycle a little bit and it messes up things. I want to, so I'll read Zach's comment here. And Zach is saying, don't you think manufacturers are trying to not flood the market? They're behind, but still don't want to rush a ton out there. So the counterpoint to this, Zach, is they're still flooding the market. There's still a ton of releases getting out there.
just multiple
And
years.
yeah, and multiple years worth of releases. So the end result is that, you know, the buyers are still getting slammed constantly for product. Realistically, it would probably be better to reset the market and by the way, Upper Deck's already done this. They've had a couple of releases where they've combined years. You can do it. Is it ideal? No. But the advantage is you're putting more hits in there. That's one. But then at the same time, it gets you back up to date. There is really, at this point, we shouldn't have had any 22, 23 products this year. The fact that there were any is inexcusable. It's been too long. COVID doesn't work as a valid excuse. If you have to combine the products and put 22, 23, and 23, 24 together in order to make that work and push it towards 24, 25, that would probably be a better outcome for the market than it would be to go, all right, we're going to release a release this week, next week. And then in reality, what you did is, all right, so we're going to release a 22, 23, a 24, 25, a 23, 24, a 22, 23 again, a 23, 24 again, a 24, 25. That's confusing.
Well, a guy like Matty Beniers, I don't think he has a cup RPA out yet.
No,
and
I don't think so.
He's what, on his second, third season? How many? He had his rookie year. I think he'll be like 2.5 years in now, I think. Because the Kraken weren't as good last year. His rookie season was when they made the playoff run. Last year he didn't do so great. So he's like 2.5 years in, and I don't think he has his cup.
Oh, it's worse than that, man. It's worse than that. I got it in front of me. Matty Beniers is gonna play his 200th NHL game soon.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
His next game will be his 200th NHL game, Eric.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have a cup RPA yet.
That's a lot.
He doesn't have a cup RPA yet.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's bad. Like that. But that's a problem. That creates a bit of a problem. It's just it's completely fine. So this kind of plays against what Brendan is saying here. No, they're not trying to take advantage of anything. It's just they're not getting the stuff out the door fast enough. They needed to. They should have, but they didn't. So that's why I say I wanted to credit Victor. It was just entertaining to me. I got a kick out of it. I did leave a message on the video because I was amused. But then when he pulled up the hockey tab, Eric, I died of laughter because he was looking at it, and Victor was just looking at it like, again, not necessarily as a hockey guy. He was just looking at it going like, this is ridiculous. What is this? And I go, yep, Victor, your reaction is appropriate. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. I didn't disagree. I go, no, that is a reasonable reaction for somebody looking at this and going like, why are there 3 years worth of products being released in the same year? That doesn't make any sense.
Paul said that that cup year is out.
2-3.
Is it a recent release? Because I didn't think that one was out yet.
That might have been the last one. If that's the case, that would have been the last one. Let me see if I can find the Matty.
Because I thought we got Robertson's year and then we had Caulfield's year.
That for sure. That one for sure. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, hold on here. 22-23, the cup is Matty Beniers. Yeah, I just found one on Probstain here. So this 22-23, there's 21-22 and 22-23. This one here. There you go.
Wonder what the release was on that.
I'll double check, but that's 22-23 the cup. So that's the one. 22-23 the cup is the year. And that is the card. I'll double check the release.
Bobby, if you didn't see early in the episode, I gave a little ode to you in this one.
True. Yeah, but Paul's right, though. This is how messed up the schedule is, and we have no idea what's out. So that is the point. the point of this conversation isn't, we apologize if we don't have it exactly bang on, because it is confusing. It is legitimately confusing, and not just Eric confusing, because Eric is confused by basic math. I'm talking about just confusing in general for most people across the board. Every person, whether you're pretty sharp otherwise, you'll struggle, because it's just so many sets and it's so many years and it's all stuff going all over the place. It doesn't make sense. Ways to diminish product demand, asked Panini. Brock Bowers, 1 of 1 Prism, pulled before official release date. Release date rules must not be strict. What if Skeen's debut would have been pulled early? Sure. The AC pod
So the
is going
cup was
live.
released. Sorry, it was released September 18th. So
Okay,
it
so
hasn't been
it
out
wasn't long ago.
too
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, that's 22-23. We are in the year 2024, going into 2025.
Yeah,
He
we
was
dates
playing
back.
in his 3rd season.
Yeah. Technically 4th, because he did have a couple of games in his first year. That's why I say he's almost at 200 games. So, but that's bad. That's bad. That's the point. The idea of printing less is off the table. The printing less is way off the table. Isn't that the cup of the Magnificent 7 box or something? Yes. I think that's the one, where you got the RPAs in 1 pack. Yes, I think that's right.
It's one of my favorite movies. Just saying.
Yep. Bobby says,
Hey,
"Damn, Brandon,
Bobby agrees.
nail it."
It sure the hell does. And now we know what you've been doing on your free time to earn some extra money. I don't know why you didn't.
I'd seen it and I was like, that's Bobby.
I don't know why you
Hey.
didn't tell us. I mean, we're supposed to be your friends. If you needed some extra dough, maybe we could put something together, help you out. But
So wait. So, all right, to bring this full circle, Brandon. So you're saying if Bobby needed a little extra dough, so you're saying that you would have sold some cards to get him out of jam?
possibly.
I swear, if you guys watch that episode, and by the way, you should watch all the BIC episodes. They're awesome. But the point is, if you watch that episode, I swear to God, the drinking game is every time Eric says jam, take a drink, and now you're dead. You died. You already died. You died as we speak. Right now, just me telling you, you already died. I'm glad you like jam. Eric likes jam too. That's the only reason I threw the mayo crack in there. Like, I got to break the cycle. We got to start with the jam. It's like, if I need to get out of a jam, if it gets me out of a jam, I got to get out of this jam. And I'm like, stop it with the fucking jam.
Jams are sticky. You don't want to get stuck in a vat of jam.
By the way, for the record, the original thing was the guy wanted to have some extra money just in case there were cost overruns on a house. He was not in a jam. They were buying a house. They were fine.
I was talking about a jam.
Clearly, you talked about many jams. There was much jam. Much jam was had. Good Lord.
I like strawberry jam. That's my favorite.
Unbelievable. All right. So, glad you could all join us. Appreciate you. Thank you all to the chat, by the way. And hopefully you enjoyed that. That was the kind of the mini podcast Christmas special. Your quit HND today. Frees up more free time to get out my jam. There you go. I don't know what HND is.
Hobby News Daily.
Ah, okay. There we go. Look at you getting the acronym cast. Okay. Nicely done. Look at you. Whoa. Our resident Santa Claus over here got that one quick. That was with the quickness. That was fast on that one. We're usually pretty good with the acronyms. Well done. Well done, sir. Yep. There you go. All right. Any last thoughts or comments? By the way, thank you all for participating. It's been a really good turnout on this. For the most part, like I said, I had a couple of bullet points, but for the most part, we touched on them. More than anything, as soon as Eric showed that he had that box, I was like, oh, the content gods have smiled upon us. Brandon, it was great. We got to be in the background and Eric got to carry the load there for a chunk of time. Made it real easy for us. It was good. And then we were able to be the peanut gallery. It was great.
Yeah, you're always good at that now.
And I wasn't sure what time I was going to arrive, so didn't need any preparation. Got to chat with the folks.
Absolutely. Now, one important thing I'll touch on. So let me quickly here at the tail end. Let me touch on a couple of scheduling things. There is going to be a Christmas Eve episode and a New Year's Eve episode. I do both of those every year. And really, I see no reason not to change that. I've got both weeks off, to be honest. And the Christmas Eve episode I do at the house anyway, which is just a couple of blocks away from me. So I'm going to be over at the family homestead. and I'm going to do that episode. So feel free to join us if you can. Otherwise, check it out on the replay. It's fine. I'll see if I can get the Carlos Sr. cameo in there. You usually do. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know who will be joining me. I have no problem doing it myself if that's the case. If timing wise, that's fine. So we'll do that. New Year's Eve one is always a fun one. I enjoy being here, and I'll do that. So that's no problem there. For the Christmas Eve and the New Year's episodes, I will probably do a Friday live stream as well. I'm probably going to let people be like, you can come to either one or both, whatever you want, whatever makes sense for you. Again, it's holidays. Do what you need to do, family first. Take care of that business. I just like doing them, and I like having the Fridays. I like the consistency of having it. And again, I'm either at my house or I'm a couple blocks away at my family's house. So my commute is short. So really, it doesn't throw me off at all. So I don't mind doing it. So I'll be happy to hang out with those of you who want to hang out for that. Otherwise, watch it on the replay. Enjoy your holidays. Hang out with the family. Do whatever it is you're going to do. That's completely fine. But yeah, we'll be here in case that's what you want to do, and then we'll have our usual shenanigans and ridiculousness. This is the way. So you can rely that the scheduling will still bring it on. It's going to be there. So we're going to have it's going to happen. We weren't planning on it, Bobby. It was a little bit of a last minute call, and as soon as I saw that Eric had a box full of stuff from Vinny, we did our own IRP Christmas special. So it's like, man, we're doing it. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. Good night. Absolutely. Take it easy. Christmas and New Year's specials. Absolutely. Bring the hobby in the show. Someone else did that. Oh, right. That didn't work. Dang. Bobby's throwing all the shade. He's throwing grenades these days, man.
Shady character.
Wow. It's unbelievable. But yeah, so now you know. So scheduling wise, the Christmas Eve episode will be there. I'll put the placeholder in a little bit. And then New Year's Eve episode will be there. And then I'll do both of those Fridays because why not? Honestly, there's no reason to. Now, probably I will shorten them up. They won't be as long as usual because it'll be 2 lives in the same week. So no reason to stretch it out that much. But if you got anything you want to talk about or anything, bring it because then it'll make it easier. I'll come up with some stuff. We'll have a little bit of fun. But regardless, we'll hang out. We'll chat. Bring a beverage of your choice and we'll have a good time.
No, we won't.
I love Bad Santa. Bad Santa's a good movie. I actually enjoy that one. Bring favorite Christmas movies for the Christmas episode. Bring favorite Christmas movies. That's good.
Die Hard.
Oh, it's always about Die Hard. But Bad Santa's good too, man. Bad Santa, that's solid.
It's a good time.
It's a good sign.
Die Hard.
There you go. Look at you. Perfect.
Also, Lethal Weapon.
It's not a bad call, actually. That's a pretty good call out. So any last thoughts then? I just figure we'll kill 2.5 minutes. I just like even numbers. That's what I do. So any last thoughts?
I could spend 2.5 minutes talking about I dislike name.
I think you could. I think you could thank Vinny one more time. By the way, we'll send. We will actually. By the way, I will probably. I generally won't do this, but just for the sake of folks that are interested, I may just take the bit where Eric goes through all the cards, and I may make it its own separate video if you're curious and interested. Otherwise, this was again more of a live episode, still a podcast episode, but at the same time a live episode. We just had a little more fun with it, just opened it up. But yeah, for Vinny and those guys, if you guys want to check it out, I'll put some timestamps if I can. I'll just put a timestamp on there for when we go into it and Eric opens up the boxes. So we'll just go with that, and that way then Vinny, if any of the IRP folks come and tune in, you guys can skim ahead right to the bit, and Eric will go through the entire box, and then we'll make fun of him.
Yeah. So I just want to end with I hate name, I hate Christmas, I love my mom, and I appreciate Vinny sending me these cards. That was very, very kind of him.
I'll follow up by he doesn't know Marcel Dion's Ghost.
Nope.
He mentioned nothing about chocolate sticks, so you can take those back, Miss Wade.
Yeah, take them away.
Hope everybody is safe if you're traveling and all that out there. And yeah, as always, thanks everybody. Vote for the silly card of the week.
I will put that as a community post. I'll actually probably, if not tonight, then tomorrow, I will get that on there. Hopefully you enjoyed. We did showcase a couple of cards tonight. We did have that. And I got a notification that my cards will be sending me one more mail day. So I've got one more mail day before the end of the year. And it's a good one because it actually finishes a set. I'll be able to showcase a complete set. It's going to be awesome.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I am supposed to also have a mail day this week.
Whoa.
Well-
and then Canada Post supposedly goes back to work tomorrow. So maybe, just maybe, I get my Medano card that's in limbo.
That's what Eric said, and I need. If that is the case, I can put the Christmas cards in the mail that I bought stamps for.
Yeah. So in theory, we're good until May. So if you get on it, we should be all right.
And there's
Why is the room so clean?
there's a
I
package.
haven't finished putting stuff. I've been taking my time picking out what I want to put on the shelf. There's a little bit more over here.
He's
Little
working
bit.
the feng shui. He's working
There's
the
some
feng shui as
stuff
we
back
speak.
there that I changed around. So I'm kind of just taking my time putting stuff up, not all at once.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a package up in Canada trapped, heading to name. When it arrives, please ignore any of the ticking or the blinking lights. Just go right ahead and open it, and that's from me. And you go right ahead and enjoy that. Don't open it with kids.
Given your knowledge level of technology, I don't think he has anything to fear.
I know people.
No, you don't. You don't know how many goals Marcel has. He's not one of your people now.
7.
No, he's definitely got more than 7 goals.
Wow.
Wow. Little do we know. Nor any smells. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, folks. So, kind of like I said, a fun episode. By the way, also in the same vein, the next podcast episode will be on the Christmas week, but it'll be recorded as normal because it'll still be a couple of days before. And then, yeah, if you want to ignore family or anything, we'll still have a regular podcast episode. And then the week after that will also be a regular podcast episode. So the schedule of podcasts will continue unimpeded by the holiday season. Should not be too much of an issue. And if all else fails, I can always record an episode. So there'll be 2 more podcast episodes before the end of the year, no matter what. Regardless, we'll make sure that happens. It'll be fine, and we'll figure it out. Otherwise, like I said, live streams for the rest of the year. Man, Brandon, it's almost like the holiday season doesn't really impact the BIC channel at all, does it?
We had the Halloween. We're just rolling right through.
I ignore these holidays.
We are
but nonetheless,
unstoppable force.
it just happens, man. And you know what? It's all powered by the like button. Boom.
No.
Hit the like button. That's what allows us all this power.
Nothing to
It's
like.
unstoppable.
This is
It's unstoppable.
absolute nonsense.
Peppery hot dogs coming your way name. Amazing. All right, folks. Pleasure chatting with you all as always. Thank you for checking it out. We'll be back with the next couple of episodes before the end of the year. Otherwise, we'll see you next time around, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.